Have you ever told yourself you were going to sit down and write 2,000 words today? You looked at your calendar, seen that the time was right there waiting, and then sat down at 8 p.m. and produced 47 words before you closed the laptop and called yourself lazy. Well, hi, I'm Aoife Proudfoot and welcome to Author Mum Academy, a podcast for mums who want to build a real writing career on the hours they actually have. I'm a mum of 3. I've written 40 books as Vi Carter. I've built a full-time writing income on 3 hours a day, 5 days a week around school runs, bath times, and the messy reality of motherhood. And this podcast is where I'm sharing how I did it and how you can too. This is the first episode, so welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let's get into it. So back to that moment, the 47 words, the close the laptop, the voice in your head calling you lazy. I lived that moment over and over for years. And for years, I was completely wrong about what was actually happening in it. I want to spend the next 10 minutes telling you what I finally figured out, because if you've lived a version of that night, this episode is for you. For most of us, the wrong question is, how do I find more time to write? It makes sense. We're mums. Time is the obvious enemy. But after 40 books and 3 kids, I'm here to tell you time isn't what's been stopping you. Most of the days you've blamed yourself for wasting weren't wasted because you ran out of hours. They were wasted because you ran out of energy. And those are 2 completely different problems. Time is fixed. You can't make more of it. The day has the hours it has. But energy is a managed resource. It can be protected, restored, leaked, or drained. And once you start watching for it, you'll see your worst writing days aren't always your busiest days. They're the days your energy got siphoned somewhere else before you ever sat down at the keyboard. So let me tell you about a specific version of this day. It would start with so much hope. I'd sit down with my coffee before the kids were up and write out my day. 2,000 words a day. It really felt reasonable, simple, achievable. I knew I could write 2,000 words in an hour on a good day. So I closed the notebook feeling like the day was already half won. 2,000 words was practically done. Then I do the mum things. Empty the dishwasher, pack the lunches, find the school shoes that had migrated under the couch, smile at the other mums that drop off, come home with the baby on my hip, the morning half gone, but okay, there was still the afternoon. That's what I would tell myself. Around 11, maybe she'd nap. I'd start to feel that little flutter. This is it. This is when I get my words in. I'd lay her down, close her bedroom door so quietly you'd think I was diffusing a bomb. And she'd wake up. Not the gentle kind of wake up either. The full screaming, I do not consent to this napkin of wake up. So I'd hold her. I'd rock her and the morning would dissolve. Before I knew it, it would be 3 p.m. and I'd be cutting apples for the older kids, pretending I wasn't behind. Then there'd be dinner, bath time, bedtime stories, the slow exhale once they were finally down, tucked away in their beds. And then there it was, my 2-hour window. The house was quiet, my laptop was open, I can still hit 2,000 words. It's 1 hour on a good day. I have 2. I told myself this will be a breeze. So why was I staring at the screen? Why was I toogling between Word and Facebook, then Facebook and Instagram, then back to Word, then Amazon, then Instagram again? 20 minutes would go by and I have written 11 words and erased 9 of them. My brain felt like wet sand. My fingers wouldn't move and the voice in my head, the one I trusted, would whisper, "You're so lazy. You had all day. You can't even do this one simple thing." And I believed her. For years, I believed her. Until one night, sitting in that exact chair, in that exact 2-hour window, staring at the exact blinking cursor, I had a quiet moment of clarity that changed everything. What I finally figured out, very slowly and painfully, was that I wasn't lazy. I was depleted. The 2-hour writing window I've been counting on was actually a 14-hour of mothering already window. By the time I sat down, my emotional energy was gone. My mental focus was gone. I'd be making 200 micro decisions all day. What to feed who, whose feelings to manage, what to remember, what to grab on the way out. Every one of those decisions had a cost. The cost was the exact fuel I needed to write a chapter. The clock said 2 hours were available. The clock was telling the truth. But the clock doesn't measure what's left in the tank. And what was left in my tank by 8 p.m. was nothing. Once I saw this, once I named it, everything changed. Because suddenly the question wasn't, how do I find more time? It was, how do I get my writing time with anything left in me? So once I started watching my energy instead of fighting the clock, the first thing I learned was that my best writing hours weren't where I thought they were. They weren't the evenings, even though that's when the house was finally quiet. By the time the evenings hit, I was running on fumes. The clock said 2 hours. The tank said empty. The real answer for me in those early years with 3 small kids was 4 a.m. I know, don't groan yet. Because 4 a.m, before the baby cried, before the older kids stirred, before I made a single decision for anyone but myself, I had everything. I'd mental quiet, my emotional reserves. I had no interruptions. I'd write from 4 to 6 with my coffee, and by the time my family started waking up, my words were already in. Done. The rest of the day could fall apart, and it didn't matter because I'd written. For 4 years, 4 a.m. was my window. And I want you to hear me on this. This wasn't 4 a.m. because I'm a morning person or because I'm disciplined or because I'm built for early starts. It was 4 a.m. because that was when my energy was full and the demands of motherhood hadn't started yet. Energy first, time second. The good news is then my kids got older. The baby became a toddler. The toddler became school kids and the energy map shifted with them. 4 a.m. stopped being the right slot. I needed sleep more than I needed quiet. Now my writing time is 10 a.m. after my walk with the kids at school. The walk fills me, the school day clears the house, and 10 a.m. is when I have everything I need to do some real work. Now, summer will shift it again when the kids are home, and then they'll go back and it'll shift again. And someday when they're grown, it'll shift again and something I can't even imagine yet. The point isn't to find the right writing hour for the rest of your life. The point is to find the right hour for right now and to be willing to let it move as your life moves. Your best writing time is not a personality trait, it's a snapshot. Take it, adjust it, and keep going. So, your homework this week has 2 layers. Layer 1, for the next 7 days, 3 times a day, track your energy on a 1 to 10 scale. Just the number, check it in morning, midday, and evening, write it down. Layer 2, at the end of the week, look at your map and ask the second question. What's the highest energy hour I actually have on a typical write day? Not what it used to be, not what it should be. Not what other writers say theirs is. What is it for me? Is this season with the kids? Is this life? Then start protecting that hour. Move your writing into it. Let the rest of the day be what it needs to be. Energy first, time second. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with other author mums who've been calling themselves lazy when they actually are just running on empty. There is nothing wrong with it shifting. You're not failing. You're not flighty. You are shifting with the energy you have. That's the whole thing. That's the whole episode. Next week, we'll talk about how to protect that hour once you've found it, because energy without protection is still going to lose to a Shopify notification. Until then, track the number, and I will see you Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening.